Pay attention to your children. And I'm not trying to guilt trip anybody here. Your children will go through ascension. This has been happening, and if they're not given enough attention, they'll sort to take their own lives, right? And this has been happening. I know that someone listening to this is still confused. What did I do wrong that my child decided to take their own life? And someone would say that is peer pressure. It's not. Trust me, it's not. If anything, it is. Although I don't like putting it in this way, it has to do with an ascension, right? Not to say that we should blame the ascension, because this happens with everybody most of the time. But if it gets to your children early and you don't know what to do, how to give them attention, you might lose them in different ways that you won't get them back. It might be through drugs, gangsterism, death, anything of that nature, all because of an ascension, that there was no one who has enough understanding how to guide them through. And usually this is something very simple, right? So it happens that I'll make it an example. Your child will go through symptoms like flu symptoms, and you're going to treat it as the same, thinking that you're not wearing a jersey, this and this and that, you're not wearing your shoes and whatnot, right? Maybe you throw some tantrums on them and try to take them to a nearest clinic or hospital or your doctor, and try to give them anything that is chemical related, because the way you understand how to heal somebody, it is always through medical means. And I'm not gonna come here and blame you, right? I don't want to blame anybody. We are all here to learn and understand. Mistakes happen, and we have to give ourselves a chance to learn, and this is an opportunity, right? So your child will go through symptoms which are going to be ascension spiritual symptoms, especially at the age 11, 12, 13. Their subconscious mind is getting matured differently, and when they go through the symptoms, to them it will come as a shock, because most of the time you realize that when your child is sick around those ages, they think so deep that the first thoughts that comes in their mind, that is why I don't like the mind. The mind is so polarized, but when you're connected with your heart, it's a different thing. Back in Egypt, they would actually study all the organs of the body, and they will keep everything there, right? But the brain, they'll just throw it in the bin because it's useless, and it's the truth. The brain is useless. It's only useful if your heart, your unconditional heart with love, is connected with this polarized strand that comes from the heart connecting to the mind. If it is actually aligned and placed in a sense that it is connected with an unconditional love, you having to be in your heart purely and live from your heart and not in your mind. So back in Egypt, they'll just throw away the brain because it was useless, and they'll study all the organs, including more especially the heart, because the heart is the one that actually gives life to everything. If you go deep in the sense of understanding how the heart operates, you'll understand that when a fetus grows or starts to be, the first thing that comes, this will be complicated because a lot of you will just disagree. So when the first thing that pops out of the heart, right, from the reaction of the fetus is the tongue, okay? And that is almost the time they say that what you speak with your tongue, it makes things happen, is because your tongue is connected to your heart. It is the first thing. After your tongue, it is your hands, legs, and all of that, right? So the brain is just something very useless, unless if you find your heart and connect with it, then it becomes very useful, right? So your children will think like that this is my last day because I'm having the sicknesses. I don't understand. They get to be confused. They'll start to cry, and the only thing they need is for you to be there for them, the moment when you start to throw tantrums, you're making it worse. And like I've been saying this, that it's important for people, it's not in a forced way, but it is important for people to pay homage to themselves, to their body, and for them to connect and start to be spiritual. So that when the higher frequencies and vibrations that starts to stem within and outside interacting with Mother Nature, it doesn't affect you negatively, right? Because when so much thoughts, imagine like thoughts coming in your mind, and everything that has been bad in your life, traumas coming all at once. How will this affect you? The impact will be so negative to the point that the only way you will feel peace, which is your mind tricking you, that is to take your life. Then that's what you'll do. But when you start to connect early, before any other shift or ascension happens or takes place, connected to Mother Nature, you're ready for it, right? So that is why you see like random deaths, people killing themselves. It's not stress, not because of the bills that you can't pay. I'm telling you, it's way deeper than that, or the material world, or you having to not be able to afford this material lifestyle. It's not that you go through this death or kill yourself because of the ascension. Like you're not fit for it, and your children will feel like that, like they'll have so much fear and they'll be scared. And if you're not open to them, they won't talk, and sometimes they'll make a decision, let me take my life. But when you start to connect with them, talk to them, what's wrong, what's happening, you tell them, slow down. They will cry, let them cry, right? You tell them to calm down and place your right hand to their heart center, and tell them to breathe in and out slowly, because the first thing that you're going to feel, their hearts will be pumping, racing so quickly. They have to calm down. You let them cry. Don't even ask them why they are crying. They don't even know it. Trust me, it's confusing for them. But you being there, giving them a hug, talking to them, telling them it's okay, praying for them, or whatever manifestation you do that will spark healing, it will change all of that. And they'll be more open to you now. They'll start to talk to you because they're going through ascension symptoms, but they don't know it. You don't know it as well as a parent. You're lucky if you're a parent, you know what they're going through and you help guide them through. But everybody can do it, even if you do not know. But throwing tantrums on them, it's confusing them even more. And they'll end up opening up. I saw this vision, I saw myself dying, So you have to be there for your children, and they will really appreciate that. Their inner self know that, but them, they don't know, because they're in the deepest sense of their subconscious mind. But their higher self will appreciate it as a parent, you having to look up to them like that. And they'll be more open, they'll calm down, they'll do the breathing in and out slowly, and their hearts will just, and they'll be able to have control over it. And what will happen after that, their lives will change. It becomes worse if your child has been through trauma before the ages of 11, maybe 5 years, 6, 7, they had traumas. Because of the fear that runs so deep in them, they'll be scared. They'll feel like, I'm about to die. And they might actually want to force it to do it themselves. I'm not saying everything that has happened with your child dying has to do with this, but I'm just putting it out there. It's not only death, like you will lose your child, drugs, all of that negative substance and negative lifestyle, because most of them, I don't like the word chosen, most of them have a different responsibility they have to play in a role in this world that will impact people spiritually and connecting them with higher planes and dimensions.